Hi little skeletons, it's Disney Queen Skelly here, and now I'm going to talk about some more movies in this animated Disney movie series that I'm doing. I'm going to talk about the ones that I've just watched recently, starting with Bambi and ending on Book of Life. Now that doesn't exclude all of the B movies, but that's just some of them. So Bambi, I still love Bambi. It's a really good movie. I think it's very artistic, I want to say is the right word. It's very artistic, especially because when it comes to Bambi and Lilo and Stitch, I learned this a while ago, that those are the only two movies in Disney that have a watercolor background. Every other movie is like animated, or it's basically animated, but these two have actually watercolor based backgrounds, and I thought that was really cool. I like the whole style of it. Not to mention the songs are cute. I think they're amazing. Little April Shower is still obviously the one that most people know. And it's really funny to watch with hubby because we watched the Guess Vanderpool video on, it was basically like a gag video. Like he was like, oh, it's like the recap of Bambi, and it was all a gag, which was pretty funny. So every time we watch the movie, it's like we kind of like not quote the parody video, but it's like there's certain scenes in the parody video that when we see like certain characters on screen, we can quote the parody video. We do not talk about Bambi 2. I've watched that sequel already, and literally it was like one of the worst sequels I've ever seen, so I'm definitely never going to rewatch that one again. Unless of course my kids want to watch it, but that's just really the only exception. Now to the two movies that I really didn't want to watch, but I knew I had to because I needed to get over this. I watched Beauty and the Beast and Beauty and the Beast The Enchanted Christmas. I didn't watch Beauty and the Beast Belle's Magical World because I just never seen it, and truthfully I have no interest in it. And I know it's nowhere near Christmas time right now, but the Beauty and the Beast and the Enchanted Christmas is really really just a good sequel for me, and I don't know, it kind of brings back childhood memories. If you guys don't know why Beauty and the Beast is such a hard movie for me to get through, I can just kind of run through a brief recap of why. One of my exes really liked this movie. He related to it a lot, and on occasion he would call me his Belle, and it would make me really happy. So when he and I broke up, after I found out really how abusive and toxic the relationship was, it was hard for me to even watch Beauty and the Beast or look at it. I couldn't even look at the live action movie, and that one is going to be a lot harder to get through than the animated one was. With the animated ones, it was okay. I felt okay. I'm glad I watched them. I still really like the songs in there, except, oh my god, Beauty and the Beast, the song that goes like, tale as old as time, still made me feel so uncomfortable. On my Snapchat, I was like filming it, and I was like, BRB, currently dying. Because I mentally could not take it. It was horrible. But Beauty and the Beast The Enchanted Christmas, it's a really fun sequel for me. I like it. And honestly, I don't know, I feel like that one was a bit easier to get through because it was something I watched a lot in my childhood. It wasn't something that he and I watched at all, I think. I don't even think we watched that sequel, including Belle's Magical World, or whatever the hell it's called. Like I said, I'm glad I did it, and I don't regret it. I would definitely try to watch it again. When it comes to the live action stuff that I'm eventually going to watch, I know Beauty and the Beast live action is going to be a lot harder to get through, so I think that one I might save for when hubby's home and he and I can watch it together, so that way in case anything does happen, I can just cry into his shoulder. Big Hero 6 is a movie I'm actually not fond of anymore, but I still watched it because it had been a very long time since I have watched the movie. The last time I actually thoroughly sat down and watched it was when we were moving here, and it was basically the only DVD I had to help me sleep. So yeah, I got sick of it really quick, and I just refused to watch it once we moved here because, again, I watched it so many times it just got really fucking boring and really fucking repetitive. But I went back and watched it again. I just got a couple chuckles here and there, and of course I love Baymax. He's a super cute character, and he's one of my personal favorites, especially when you're able to meet him in, I think it's Epcot. You're able to meet him in Epcot in Walt Disney World, which hopefully we'll be able to do that come October 3rd, 4th. I don't remember when we're going to Epcot. You know what? I think Epcot might be one of our last trips. I don't remember. So The Black Cauldron is another one of the movies that I don't necessarily like, but I'll watch it because I think the animation is, of course, very Disney, and of course it's one of Disney's darker movies. The Horned King is pretty terrifying, not gonna lie, and this one's a lot more taboo, I'd say, in terms of Disney animation. There's a lot more going on here that I don't think Disney would ever do nowadays. When we saw Soul, I was surprised that they had these little kids saying hell repetitively. But I think that was more of an educational thing more than anything else. But The Black Cauldron definitely wouldn't be a movie that I think Disney would ever make or remake today. That would just be a little too much. At least, not in my opinion, but I know like the parents and would feel a little, it's a little too much. Bolt is another movie that again I'm not really fond of, but I'll watch it because it was something that I enjoyed growing up. And not to mention, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Miley Cyrus. I kind of stopped watching her and like catching up on her once I kind of grew out of my Hannah Montana phase when I used to watch Disney Channel. Now granted, that finale for the series is actually pretty good. I love the way that it ended, but I mean, I never really liked her after that, and it's nothing against her. I'm just not a fan. You know, you can not be a fan of someone just because of, you know, you just don't like what they do or they don't like their music. I'm just not a fan of her. So I mean, watching Bolt, I kind of do like John Travolta. I really like him in Hairspray, and I know my mom loves him in Grease. But other than that, I don't know. Bolt for me is just one of those ones that I felt like I had to watch because it was something that I used to like growing up. Book of Life was a good one to kind of not end on, but it was a good one to kind of wrap up on in terms of the marathons themselves, which I might continue later today at time of recording, which is September 21st. But Book of Life is a movie that I could watch every day. It makes me so happy. It makes me feel, just the serotonin levels are going. That was funny because while I was watching this with hubby, there's a couple of scenes where the main guy character, what's his name? Oh shit, I'm forgetting the characters' names. No, I know Maria. But anyway, so the main guy who plays guitar, he's Manolo, that's his name, Manolo. He's really trying to win over Maria because he loves her. And he would play her songs. He literally died for her just to get her back. And while we were watching this, I was kind of like joking around with hubby because I was holding a pillow and I was like, love. I am such a sap, honestly, when it comes to shit like that. But as we were watching it, I literally uttered, I'm so lonely. And he looks at me and he goes, what? That was a pretty funny day, not gonna lie. And I had poke for the first time that day when we watched it. And not gonna lie, chef's kiss. Right now, the movie I'm working on is Brave. I'm almost done with it. It's also one of those movies I'm not too into. I know it's Harley Baby's favorite Pixar movie, so I'm very sorry if you don't like the fact that it's not one of my personal favorite movies. I do like Merida. She's a very good character. I don't know, just the story for me is kind of meh. I've also watched it way too many times. After that, in terms of the B section, I am going to be watching the rest of the B section movies, which is The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars and then The Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue. I don't know if those are in the right order. And then Brother Bear and Brother Bear 2. And the only reason I'm watching The Brave Little Toaster is because as a kid, apparently, I really loved those two movies. I don't remember them to save my life. So I just kind of want to see, I don't know, what was up, like why I liked it so much. And of course, Brother Bear has a special place in my heart, especially with Phil Collins doing the soundtrack. And Brother Bear 2 is one of the better sequels that I love. So I know this one was significantly shorter than the last one, and it's because I didn't get through as many movies, and not to mention, again, I'm not doing a full in-depth review. I'm just kind of letting you guys know my opinions and rewatching these movies. And in the B section, there wasn't just a lot that I could positively comment on, which I'm very sorry about that. Hopefully once we get through the rest of the B section and maybe starting into the C section, it'll be a little different. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your opinions about any of these movies in the comment section down below. But other than that, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, little skeletons. Stay safe. And I love you guys.